Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Holy Smokes Barbecue channel. It is super cold out here today. Let me just get that straight right off the bat. It's like 9 degrees outside, but like we always say, we're not gonna let the cold weather stop us from firing up the smoker and cooking some delicious food. And so today, outside in the frigid temperatures, we are making a smoked Tennessee whiskey glazed pork loin. Now, a pork loin is one of my favorite cuts of meat. It's gonna be a pretty simple recipe, but it's gonna take a while to smoke this. We're gonna smoke it low and slow. Now, I can't wait for you to see this up close, so come on in and let's get started. All right, now when I tell you that this is huge, listen to me. It is huge, look at that. This thing is a little over 9 pounds. It's so large it doesn't actually fit lengthwise on my cutting board, so I got to do this diagonally here. And this is a massive cutting board. I used to eat this stuff growing up. I can still remember my dad throwing this in the oven. Oh, so good. So a pork tenderloin, you can see, is really long. That's the difference between a loin and a tenderloin. So a loin and a tenderloin come from different parts of the animal. So I am ready to get into this thing. So let's open it up. All right, there we have it. Look at that. Man, that is a massive pork loin. Now to prep this, I'm not gonna do a whole lot. This does have a fairly significant fat cap. I'm gonna leave that kind of like it is. I'm only really gonna remove any sort of loose pieces of fat like these that I see here. But primarily, I'm just gonna keep most of that on because it's kind of like a pork butt. It's going to serve as like a barrier because this is gonna be on for quite a while today. And it's gonna prevent that meat from drying out. So I'm just gonna cut a few little pieces of that fat here. Just, again, that loose stuff. All right, just check and see if there's any more. I think this is a little chunk there. All right, I'm not really worried about that fat. Let's just look at the other side one more time. Gosh, so big. I'm gonna cut off this little piece here. That looks pretty good. Next, using just some paper towels, just gonna dry it off. Just get those juices off of it. And it's actually going to create sort of a sticky texture to it, which is going to be great for my seasoning that I'm going to use today. It doesn't have to be like absolutely bone dry with no moisture at all, but just want to get that excess. Flip it over, dry this other side. So for my seasoning today, I'm going to be using my own Holy Smokes rib rub. Now, this is kind of a homemade thing that I just sort of put together and tweaked it a little bit until it was just like, this is like one of my favorite things to put on pork. And I put this on pork butts, I put it on ribs. You can actually find this recipe in my baby back ribs video. I'll put a little link to that below. But pro tip, make your own rub and then make a lot of it. And then just keep it, jar it up and use it whenever you need it. All right, so let's just sprinkle this on here. Just like that. We can be generous with it. It's gonna be on the smoker for a while. Okay, just pat it on there for a sec. Oh man, it smells like ribs. All right, let's flip it over. Whew, man. Some of the rib rub on there. Yeah, be generous with it. Now, I always want to get the sides, but since this is such a large piece of meat, I'm actually just gonna put the rub in my hand and just kind of rub it along the side here. Some there. Oh yeah, we're making a mess out here today, but that is fine. Small price to pay for something that's so good it makes you say, holy smokes. All right, that looks nice, smells amazing. So now let's talk about how we're gonna smoke it. All right, so today I'm smoking low and slow at 225 degrees using my Pit Boss Platinum Lockhart, and I'm using the Pit Boss Competition Blend pellets, my favorite all-around pellets for just about anything that you wanna make on a pellet smoker. Now the big question, how long is this gonna take? And the big answer, I have no idea. I'm thinking probably 2.5, 3 hours, maybe a little bit longer, I don't know. So place your bets now as to how long this is gonna take. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on, and we're gonna let it sit there untouched for at least an hour and a half or 2 hours before I do anything to it. We're doing a Tennessee whiskey glaze to go on it. I don't need to make that just yet. I'm gonna make it kind of when I feel like there's about an hour left on it, and then we'll kind of brush it on, and I'll show you all that. But for now, let's get this onto the Lockhart. All right, and I'm gonna be putting this fat cap down, so that fatty side is gonna go down, again, to help us with that heat barrier. right in the middle. And now I am gonna sort of like clump it up a little bit. I find that helps with the juiciness of it. All right, there we have it. All right, time to go inside and warm up because it's freezing out here, and I'll see you in a little bit. All right, it's been almost 2 hours, and let's take a look. I can't wait to see what this looks like. Wow, oh man, look at that. Oh man, look at that. Ooh, it smells so good. You can really see there's a nice amount of moisture there. You can see how that fat cap is melting down at the bottom, which is great. I can see over here on the right side, it's starting to dry out a little bit. And so there's two things I'm gonna do at this point. First, I'm gonna just spritz it with a mixture of 50% water, 50% apple cider vinegar. Just keep it moist. Next, you'll notice that I've got these two temperature probes inserted here. These came with the Lockhart. And right now it's telling me that the one on the left side is 134 degrees, the one on the right side is 142. So that right side's just a little bit hotter, which is okay, but I am, just for the sake of evenness, I'm gonna kind of turn this around. Oh man, woo, smells good. Let's see if I can do this without messing it up. So only about another hour or so, and since we're getting close, let's go inside today because it's cold, and let's make our glaze. All right, welcome to my kitchen indoors, where it is a lot warmer than it is outside. So let's go ahead and make this incredible Tennessee whiskey glaze. This glaze is gonna be super simple, only 4 ingredients. And this is gonna be very easy to remember because all 4 ingredients are in the same quantity. So we're gonna add a half cup of 4 different things here. All right, we're gonna start with a half cup or 1 stick of butter. All right, the butter is nice and melted, and now it's time for my next half cup ingredient, which is light brown sugar. There we go. Use my whisk to kind of break that up in there. Just like that. And my next half cup is Dijon mustard. All right, there's the Dijon. And finally, it wouldn't be a Tennessee whiskey glaze without Tennessee whiskey. Let's get our half cup of that. Just like that, right in. So now I'm gonna turn up the heat just a little bit. So I'm just combining all this. I wanna make sure those ingredients get nice and incorporated together. And then also, I'm gonna let it just sit here and simmer until it comes to a boil, and it almost has like a syrupy, well, you know, like a texture that you would normally think of when you think of a glaze. So you can see as it cooks, it's kind of bubbling up over the side of the mixture, and it's got these little pods of bubbles in the middle. It's really making that caramelization, and that's because of that brown sugar. And really now we're just going for that texture. So as soon as it hits that texture that I want, then we're gonna remove it from the heat. And this will only take about, 5 minutes or so. I'm kind of stirring it frequently just because I don't want any of it to burn. All right, just take a look at that. Yeah, that's what we want. That's going to be a perfect glaze. And the glazing starts now. All right, so right now the temperature is sitting at about 153, 54 degrees, kind of on both sides, which means we don't have very much time left, a little under an hour or so. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Oh, the smell. And now using my mop, I'm going to kind of get in there with that glaze. Oh yeah. And we're just going to mop it right on there. Man, does that smell good. It's like as soon as that glaze hit that meat, the smell just was overwhelmingly delicious. All right, that's all I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna take the glaze back inside because again, it's cold and I don't want it to, coagulate. I think that's what you say. Coming back out in about 15 minutes to do it again. I'm gonna do it every 15 minutes until it is done. And ladies and gentlemen, we are in the home stretch. All right, get ready for this. Here it is. Oh man. Woo, the juiciness. Juice, 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 all day long. Juice, 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 while I sing this song. I mean, look at that. But don't look too long because I gotta cover it up because this thing needs to rest. Now again, just because of how cold it is outside, I am gonna take this inside to let it rest. But don't worry, I'll bring it back out when it's done and we're gonna try it. All right, friends, come along on a little journey with me and let's reveal. Oh, here it comes. Watch for the steam. Woo! Man, that is a piece of meat. I mean, come on, look at that. All right, since this is so large, it will not fit on my cutting board. So I'm actually gonna cut this in half and we're gonna take a look. All right, here we go. It's the moment of truth. Oh, that knife just goes right through. Oh, normally I wouldn't be cutting like on a grate like this, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Let's take a look. Oh man, look at it. Oh, man. Ah, that looks so good. Oh my gosh. Look at the smoke ring. Look at the smoke ring. Now I can display this properly right here. Oh, man. I mean, that's just beautiful, right? I mean, gosh. It smells out of this world. I'm so excited to try this. Let's go ahead and cut a few slices of this. I know it's kind of hard to see out here because of the bright sun, but you know what? It's fine. I'm right-handed, but oh, yes. All right, I know I say it every single week, but gosh, if you could smell this. It smells incredible. I cannot wait to taste it. That Tennessee whiskey glaze. Oh, it's so fragrant and smells beautiful. Cannot wait to try it. So here we go. Let's grab a piece here. Oh, it's super juicy. Here we go. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, really? Holy smokes, that is good. Oh, holy smokes. Holy to the smokes. Good. You really taste the sweetness from both that glaze and from the rub that we used on it. Beautiful amount of sweetness. Definitely get that wood-fired taste from those competition blend pellets. Listen, this would be great sliced up on a sandwich. This would be great just eating it like this. And in my mind, any way it gets into my belly, it's fine with me. Well, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and take this inside and we're all gonna enjoy it, and gosh, it's so good. You gotta try it. If you can find a pork loin that's this big, do it. If you can find a smaller one, do it. Just get a pork tenderloin. You might have to adjust that, that glaze recipe a little bit depending on the size, but man, do it. You gotta try it. Well, thank you once again for tuning in to the Holy Smokes Barbecue channel. If you like this video, make sure that you give us a thumbs up, click that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and click that little bell to turn on post notifications so you're one of the first people to know when we post new, delicious outdoor cooking content. And if you like this video, check out one of these other 2 pork-related things that we have cooked up here outside on the smoker, and I'll see you next time.